you breathe purple and gold? Are you ready to hoist the colors? Now, time for the most in-depth look at the world of ECU athletics. Welcome in to Hoist the Colors with your host, Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game. Watch the show live on Facebook and at 943thegame.com. Now, here's your host, Stephen Igo.
Welcome in. It's Hoist the Colors on a Monday. Reaction Monday to the weekend that was, the week that was for East Carolina baseball. Pirates go 3-1, midweek win over UNCW before taking 2 out of 3 at UAB. Ends on a sour note. We'll touch on that. Big show ahead. We'll have Cliff Godwin, comments from him, East Carolina head baseball coach, and then we'll be joined for the first time in studio by Braden Burrus, ECU standout freshman, having an awesome year, a special year as a freshman for the Pirates. So we'll get to know Braden off the field as well as what makes him tick on the field. So we're going to have a short opening segment because we got to get to both those interviews. Both of them ran a little long. Philip Pilkington is behind the glass. Philip, hope you had a good Easter weekend, man. Got to enjoy some time with the family, I assume.
Yeah, I did. Had a good Easter weekend. How about you?
Pretty solid, man. Pretty solid. I think we had 3 Easter egg hunts with my little kids between the neighbors and also public events locally, and also with my grandparents. So it was quite a weekend. I'm honestly still kind of exhausted, but in between enjoyed some ECU baseball as well. So plus the Nuggets won, the Mariners won a series, their 4th consecutive series. So it's, as much as I hated sports a few weeks ago, it's now going pretty good.
There you go. You turned it around, and I know if I run out of candy at my house, I can raid the Igo pantry, it sounds like,
yes.
After all these Easter egg hunts.
We have plenty, man. Please come take some because we got way too much. Zach Agnos is a big leaguer. We will talk more about that perhaps towards the end of the show, and if we don't have time today, obviously we're going to touch on it with Cliff Godwin and Braden Burrus, but Philip and I will give our thoughts on that. But we'll open with thoughts on the series against UAB as we got a few minutes here. Just really kind of a interesting weekend. Like, you look at it from the grand scope of things, Philip, you go 3-1, which I don't think you can complain about. But at the same time, I tweeted that ECU missed a massive opportunity. If you win Saturday, you're up 8-1. It looks like you're going to sweep and be at least 2 games behind first place UTSA, with them coming to your place in a few weeks. Instead, man, things just completely unraveled. Now, Cliff Godwin said the wind was blowing out, and that led to a lot of the issues, but still, you just got hit by UAB. They outscore you 15-1 the rest of the game. They win 19-6. Again, you still win the series, so you have to keep that in mind. You still got 3-1, but feels like a missed opportunity that could come back to bite ECU, perhaps.
I think so. I think if you told me going into the weekend they were going to go 2-1, I said, okay, UAB has gone exactly 1-2 in all of their previous series, but the way that you won those first 2 games, Saturday night, kind of a traditional, well, kind of untraditional, because your ace doesn't go out there and give you a phenomenal start, but you bring in your best relief guy, and he comes in, carries you. You win the low-scoring game in Game 2 on Friday night, and then to be up like you did, and that it kind of raises the question, we don't really have time to get into it right now, is does it matter where Sean Jenkins comes into a baseball game? And I'm not saying Sean Jenkins is the reason that East Carolina lost, but when you've used a lot of good arms, the fact that, Ethan Norby was unavailable on Saturday, Jenkins, his last few outings, when he throws the first inning, things don't go so well. When he comes in a relief, even if it's that midweek game where he came in, D'Lo through the first inning, and he came in the second and looked phenomenal. Is Sean Jenkins out of any chance to start? I mean, I know it sounds a little bold, but if you got to use an opener, I don't know.
Yeah, it is weird because he looks solid in the first, and then I don't know. Like UAB just went from a team that couldn't hit at all to just like looking like the New York Yankees with torpedo bats. I mean, I know the win had something to do with it, but we're talking about a team that had hit 20 home runs all season going into the weekend. They hit 10 against ECU in 3 games. They hit half of their season home run total. They hit 6 on Saturday alone, and it's not like ECU was walking guys. They were just giving up bombs, and I don't know. It's just like the pitching's in a tough spot with the injuries, and it's one of those things as Cameron wants to put Austin Knight on the hot seat. I've got some strong opinions on that he should not be on the hot seat, but we can get into that later. Lane Smith thus says, how the heck did we lose that way Saturday? I've seen enough. Fully retract my 38-18 statement. This team doesn't have the dudes. So we'll see. Pirates will try to bounce back tomorrow at NC State. So there's some brief thoughts on the series. Again, Philip and I will get more into it towards the back half of the show and on Tuesday. But let's hear from East Carolina head coach Cliff Godwin. We'll also have Braden Burrus as well in studio later in the show, so looking forward to that. We'll go ahead and get a break in. We'll get to those interviews, so we have plenty of time for those. After this is Hoist the Colors.
The team of Flatlands Jessup is working overtime to help ensure that Eastern North Carolinians like you get the health insurance help you need this open enrollment period. New legislation passed meaning more people than ever qualify for affordable coverage. Let us help you today.
Are you ready to tackle those yard and garden projects? Come by East Carolina Tractor and Fleet, your local Coyote dealer, and check out their great selection of residential and commercial Coyote tractors. From zero-turn mowers to compact tractors to skid steer loaders, they've got you covered. Some with 0% financing for qualified buyers. Stop by your hometown Coyote dealer, East Carolina Tractor and Fleet, across from the Pitt County Fairgrounds, or online at ectfleet.com. East Carolina Tractor and Fleet. We dig dirt.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
The best burgers around. Everyone loves a thick, juicy, and fresh burger. Tiebreakers in Greenville, plus the all-new Tiebreakers in Winterville. Do real burgers better than anybody. So don't just go to any burger-themed restaurant chain. It's time to break the chain and eat local. Tiebreakers, real burgers at its best.
Everybody loves burgers.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro-adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Healthwise Pharmacy rounds the bases with all of your infusion, retail, compounding, and medical equipment needs. Locally owned and operated by pharmacist Marcy Parker, Healthwise has grown to be your most trusted provider for infusion services. Currently providing in-home or on-site infusions in North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia. Visit Healthwise Pharmacy at 615B South Memorial Drive or call 252-295-0059 to speak to a patient service representative to find the option that best suits your needs.
Tired of the 1-800 numbers advertising Medicare products? Flatlands Jessup has 6 offices all throughout Eastern North Carolina. Get face-to-face help from our local award-winning licensed team. Stop by today. Flatlands Jessup, your whole world covered.
Here there be pirates. Back to Hoist the Colors with Steve and I go. How good is this on 94.3 The Game?
It is our Monday visit with East Carolina head coach Cliff Godwin. Pirates coming off a 3-1 week, winning the midweek contest over UNC Wilmington before taking 2 out of 3 at UAB and then observing Sunday off for Easter. We've got Coach with us here on Monday. And, Coach, successful week overall. I know it didn't end how you wanted it to, but still 3-1 week. How would you kind of sum up the week that was for Pirate baseball?
Yeah, I thought we played really good on Tuesday. I thought we played good, clean baseball for the most part on Thursday and Friday. I keep wanting to say on Friday and Saturday, Thursday and Friday, and then Saturday, get out to a really hot start and unfortunately didn't execute enough pitches on the mound. And also offensively, I told the guys, it's a team sport, and we had 16 quality at-bats through the first 4 innings, and we ended up with 21. And it wasn't like they were running out like unbelievable pitchers. I just felt like when we lost the lead, the at-bats weren't as tough as they had been throughout the rest of the week. And, that's a job of mine to keep them motivated. And the wind was galing out. 2 runs was nothing at that point in time, as you guys could see if you were watching the game. So overall, good week. Not a great week because to be a great week, we'd have went 4-0.
Yeah, I was going to ask, Coach. I mean, we obviously watching it on television, you could tell the ball was certainly carried into to center and in that arena. So I don't know. It was one of those days. It was a hitter friendly ballpark. UAB not a huge home run hitting team, but it's not like y'all were walking a ton of guys. Like, to their credit, they were hitting the baseball when y'all did make mistakes. So just what did you see kind of unfold on the mound there, and then how much was did the ballpark play into their hands there?
Well, it's twofold. I mean, when you call an extended fastball away and you throw it down the middle, and the wind's going out, you're going to get hurt. I mean, if you guys watch enough college baseball and our pitchers, I'm sure, flip on the ESPN app like all of us do, and if you go extended slider and you throw it up and in to a hitter, they're going to hit it out when the wind's going out. So, yeah, we've got to do a better job executing pitches in those moments. And, Sean was not as sharp as he was at Charlotte. He was cutting his fastball a little bit, and when he's doing that, it kind of throws everything off, for sure. But nobody that came in behind him really. Gabe Beschloss did a good job, but we really just could not sustain any kind of momentum on the mound to get us to the end. And we definitely didn't want to bring Kobe Wallace in that early, but we're just trying to squelch the momentum to give our offense a little bit of breathing room, and that didn't work. So we just did not play good enough to win on Saturday. And when you don't play good enough, then you don't get the win. So, but definitely glad we went 3-1 on the week, and it's a winning week, and we just got to continue to stack winning days together.
Cliff Godwin with us here on this Monday, recapping the Pirates' 3-1 week on the diamond. And Coach, you kind of touched on it with Saturday's game, but really all four games, you guys had early offense and really getting the ball rolling early, quality at bats early in games to kind of take that first punch and deliver that. So how much is that? I don't know if that's an emphasis for you guys, but how much does that maybe change the complexion of some of these games early on?
Well, when we score 5 or more runs, I think we're 19-5, and that's a thing. The pitching staff's done a good job. I mean, we have not had many of these games where we just didn't feel like we could get anybody out. This year, when our guys are around the zone executing pitches, they've got good enough stuff to get good offenses out. And UAB's got some guys that are dynamic, that can hit the ball, especially when the wind blowing out, they can hit the ball out. So, but we've done a good job overall this year. And then offensively, I thought Thursday was key when I think we scored 5 runs, if I'm not mistaken, in the maybe 6th, 7th, 8th inning, just to expand the lead, so we didn't have to bring in Jake Hunter on Thursday night. And I told our team that, and then Jake was fresh and was able to go 2 innings, or 2 and some change on Friday, which was a very positive thing.
Coach Braden Burrus, maybe we've talked about him a lot now, and I know you've mentioned you can kind of coach him like an old school player. You can coach him hard. Obviously, he's from your neck of the woods, and he seems to have responded to that. I mean, look, the things he's doing are pretty incredible. Batting average well over 400, but he's getting on base. He's making great defensive plays. Just how have you kind of seen him mature from day one of this season to now as a freshman?
Well, I thought after he had the game 2, which was on the same day, and he was just trying to do too much. I mean, he was like he's swinging for home runs. I think once he sat down and just said, hey, look, I'm a good baseball player, and I just need to go out and do what I do well. I think, sometimes young players especially, they want to get outside of themselves and try to do more than what their talent is. And then he learned, okay, my job is to get on base, to hit line drives, to steal bases, to get bunts down. And he's really just flourished in who he is as a player. And he's an athletic guy, so obviously a high school shortstop, but he can play in the outfield. He can play second base, and he's just done a really good job wherever we put him. He's been ready when the ball has been hit to him, and he makes it look easy at times when really in reality it's not that easy.
Coach, defensively, it feels like you guys have played much better. I think that the numbers show, I think, just 2 errors over the last 7 games total. So do you feel like you guys are taking a step defensively, getting to where you guys want to be?
Yeah, I mean, I think some of the errors that we've had this year have kind of been uncharacteristic, where maybe we made the wrong read, or we're just not doing our prep steps the right way. Jeff obviously does an unbelievable job with our infielders, but also our outfielders at times. Just taking a pitch off here and there. I mean, look, if you take a pitch off in this game, it normally exposes you, and probably the worst time possible. But definitely over the past, I guess you said 7 games, we've done a good job defensively. And look, that's one thing that we've always prided ourselves on, being fundamentally sound, and the guys are continuing to get better at that.
Cliff Godwin with us here on this Monday, and Coach, I wanted to touch on Ethan Norby, and obviously he's throwing more than he's ever thrown, and he had a really good start to Thursday's game, and then obviously you guys put up some runs, and I don't know if sitting a while had anything to do with it, but what are you seeing out of Ethan now, and kind of working deeper than he ever has into the season as a starter?
Well, I think he's probably thinking too much, I told him actually when I took him out is he's got to be in the moment enough to realize that, one of the guys that he walked was hitting 95, and one of the guys he walked was hitting 185, and you've got to make those guys beat you instead of letting one of their best players beat you. When, you get to a 3-2 count, you throw a slider down the middle, wind's blowing out, he hits a home run. And that's just kind of gotten Norbs over the past couple outings. He's walked some guys in critical situations, and then one of the better players on the other team has hit a home run. Well, we got to do a better job of that. So he will continue to get better. I'm not worried about Norbs. I mean, his work ethic, his competitiveness, how much he cares about East Carolina. I mean, I know that he's going to continue to be getting better as the season goes on, and everybody goes through a rough spell at some point in time. It could be at the beginning of the year, it could be in the middle of the year, it could be at the end of the year. So this is his little hiccup, but he'll get right back on the horse and be ready to go.
And Ethan Young obviously been a guy who has followed him up a number of times, and maybe to the naked eye profile is more as a power reliever, Cliff. But he's giving you guys length and doing so much for you guys this season. Just his development, how much can you touch on that, and how crucial he's been being a guy who can get a couple outs, and lately has been a guy who can go 4 or 5 innings?
Coach Knight and him have done a tremendous job just developing his arsenal. He's a strike thrower for the most part. He's got really elite stuff. He is special because, like you said, he can go multiple innings. He can go short stints. Him and Pruitt, and obviously Pruitt started this weekend and was outstanding, but those guys have been able to give us some length when they've been out of the bullpen, and Jake Hunter the same way, and has really just anchored our bullpen at times when, we need a couple other guys to step up down there for sure, and somebody other than Kobe Wallace and Jake Hunter and Ethan Young. So, but those guys have done a tremendous job for us on the mound.
Wanted to touch on one more position player, Cliff. Austin Irby had a really good week, I thought, and obviously the 2-homer game Saturday. Just it seems like his swing he's starting to find the groove a little bit. What are you seeing out of Austin, who has been a guy as a freshman who's been in your lineup, since day one, and really has not come out even through some ups and downs?
The most frustrating thing with this team, Igo, has been to get them to buy in like a process-oriented cage work and stuff. And I have been on Irby for 2 weeks of about a couple drills that we've been doing with him to help him stay over the plate, to shorten his swing. And it's amazing, these guys, their attention span sometimes, he's not. And I'm like, Irby, no, you have to do this every day. Like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to make sure that you hold your finish and finish through extension every single swing that you take. And he's finally starting to, understand how important that is. And that's the thing, I would say, for all young people, to have a consistent process, and you have to sell out to it. And the result's not going to come the day you do it. It's going to be multiple swings, multiple days. And to be honest with you, I didn't know that it would happen this quickly, but I knew that it would help him. And he's sold out to it, and he's done it every single day. Sometimes has been forced to do it, but it has allowed him to see the baseball better, get more barrels. And for sure, he's a great hitter, but he needed to work on some things, and he needs to continue to do that so he can stay consistent.
Cliff Godwin with us, and Cliff, we I guess have a weekly injury segment at this point, an injury update segment, so we'll go ahead and hit that as well. Braxton Trammell, and then Riley Johnson, the latest on them, and is Ryan Towers also making any progress in his rehab?
I thought you were actually going to mention Drew Downs first, since he was the latest. So Drew did not lose a tooth. I think on video it looks like he lost a tooth, but he did not lose a tooth. I don't know exactly what flew out of his mouth. Drew said maybe part of his gum when he cut his gum. So he got a couple of stitches. I'm not sure if he'll be available tomorrow night or not, but he's close. Riley Johnson is close. I'm not sure if he'll be available tomorrow night, but hopefully this weekend with his hamstring. Ryan Towers has been playing catch and is increasing his volume workload. So he's coming. He does not have pain. Couple weeks out for sure. Not sure exactly, when he will be able to be available for a game, but everything's trending up there. Braxton Trammell, we're still some time away. He's actually going to see Dr. Hasty today to kind of get reevaluated a little bit. Had an MRI last week. And then Antolik is, going through a process of just trying to figure out what this hip situation is and working through some stuff. He has some good days, has some not so good days. So hopefully we have some more clarity on that in the next week or so. But we are hopefully going to get a couple guys back here in the next couple weeks, which is a good thing.
There's the latest on the injury front, Cliff, and we'll talk about, too, one of your former standout players going to the big leagues, man. Zach Agnos, what a moment over the weekend for one of your former Pirates. And just I know it's got to be emotional for everybody involved, but really special call there for Zach and his family. Just what are kind of your emotions when something like that happens with Zach?
Well, I had a missed FaceTime call. We got back about 8:45 on Saturday night, and I think I was like walking in my house like 9:15 or something, and I looked down at my phone because I keep my phone on Do Not Disturb a lot during the season, so I don't have a lot of distractions. And I saw I had a missed FaceTime call from Zach, and so I picked up the phone, called him right back, and even after a loss, like just to see the excitement, the joy in his face, and I know how much. Just the Agnos family has done for ECU baseball. And, I know Nico was smiling down from ear to ear, man, last night, just watching Zach pitch. And I actually didn't get a chance to see it live, but I watched it this morning, and man, it's just awesome. And then I watched the interview with the Agnos family. So, they talked to Jake, they talked to Lee, and John was there. And it was just awesome. Just an awesome moment for the Agnos family. And I'm just so thankful that the Agnos family has been a part of ECU baseball for a long time.
And Cliff, it's kind of crazy because obviously when the Rockies took him as a pitcher, a lot of people, some people were scratching their head. Obviously, they saw something to credit the Rockies. Zach was a standout two-way player here who really came on strong as a pitcher towards the end. Just, kind of an amazing story, and just I don't know, like has it been a surprise at all just how quickly it's happened? And I guess it's a credit to Zach and his work ethic because we know he's just a go-getter on the mound. He's a guy who's not going to be told no.
Well, East Carolina fans probably mad at me about this, but when I was with the collegiate national team, Team USA, in the summer of 22, we kind of needed a guy that was kind of a swing guy because the roster limitations that you have when you play internationally. And so normally they don't take draft eligible players, but Zach obviously pitched and played shortstop, and I told him he could play any infield position in a pinch. And actually the Rockies didn't have him turned in, and he pitched in a game, and I think it was in Durham. And I forget who we were playing, and the Rockies guy was like, man, I need to make sure I have this guy turned in. And and Zach, going into the draft, told me he wanted to, make sure that it was as a position player, but scouts really liked him better on the mound than they did as a position player. And as you can see, it's worked out for him in the best way. But Zach works his tail off, and when he was able to concentrate on pitching, and I would say this, like when we recruited him out of high school, we thought he would be a better pitcher than a position player, kind of the opposite of Alec Burleson. I thought, I shouldn't say opposite, probably the same. I thought Burley would probably be a better pitcher than he was a hitter. But then when they got here, they could do both. And Zach really didn't pitch a whole lot until his, I guess, third year in our program. But as you guys could see in 22, man, he was the guy that we'd go to in the most crucial situations. I just remember that UVA game, man, and Ben Newton, when I had my knee infection, came to the hospital, and he was like, "Coach, I never asked you this, but Zach walked a couple guys in that inning. He goes, you didn't bring anybody else in." I said, "Well, there was nobody else down there that was better than him, so we weren't going to bring anybody else in. We were going to let Zach either win it for us or lose it for us." And he just has a big, huge personality and works hard. His teammates love him. So I definitely would not have bet against Zach Agnos being in the big leagues.
No doubt. Awesome moment for ECU baseball, Pirate Nation, a fan favorite around here for sure. Zach Agnos to the big leagues as the Pirates produce another big leaguer. All right, Cliff, we are out of time. We appreciate the time as always on this Monday. Thanks so much.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Go Pirates.
All right, he is Cliff Godwin. We will be right back after this.
Hey, it's Jim Wells again with Wells Roofing and Gutters here in the beautiful community of Lindale, Bedford. At Wells Roofing and Gutters, we believe in quality first, and that's why we use CertainTeed shingles, which are manufactured in Oxford, North Carolina, a local company. In the event you ever do have a claim or a problem with your roof system, they're local and they come and take care of us in a timely manner. We could leave off some accessories and we could certainly save money, but we believe at Wells Roofing and Gutters in installing the correct way per manufacturer requirements, and we warranty your roof both in-house and also with our supplier, who is CertainTeed. For a job Wells done, no shortcuts taken, and a good quality job on your home, give us a call today, 252-227-8403. We also offer financing, 12 months, no interest, no payments.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
You have a choice when you invest in insurance, and when you choose First State Insurance Advisors, you're working with people you can trust. Clark Stallings has deep ties in the community. His team, including Keaton Smith, Regina Asby, Phil Leva, Max Joyner Jr., Max Joyner III, and Ginger Smith, provides knowledgeable and professional advice. First State Insurance Advisors is an independent insurance agency. They offer all types of personal insurance as well as various types for business. Call or email First State Insurance Advisors today. We want to be your trusted choice agency.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked-to-order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
Back to Hoist the Colors with Steve and Igo.
Drink up me, Ozzy's yo ho.
On 94.3 The Game.
Back into Hoist the Colors on a Monday. East Carolina coming off a series win over UAB. We just talked to East Carolina head coach Cliff Godwin earlier in the show. We're now going to be joined in studio by one of the Pirate players. He is freshman outfielder, infielder, Braden Burrus, utility guy, whatever you want to call him. Braden, how's it going, man? Welcome in.
Oh, it's going good. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Braden, part of our initiative with the 23 Club and Interbanks Media support with Team Boneyard, and happy to get Braden in here for the first time, first of at least a few appearances with Braden. And, man, we got a lot to cover with you, Braden, but freshman season, we'll kind of start with an overview. It's probably been a little bit of a whirlwind for you, but how would you just kind of describe everything you've been through from a broad perspective this season, coming in as a freshman and obviously putting up really good numbers at this point?
I guess the best way to put it is, if I had a dream, this is kind of how it would play out. You know, I knew I was going to come in, and he told me that I had a chance of starting. It was probably going to be spot starts, you know, just filling in. And then, you know, you have injuries like Riley Johnson, and it's just, you know, an opportunity to step up and make a difference, make an impact for the team.
And you certainly have done that. And so obviously playing at Green Central in Snow Hill, North Carolina, which Cliff Godwin very familiar with, and we'll get into that a little bit. But you were mainly a shortstop there, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep.
I mean, playing outfield, like you look like a natural. You're playing in the corners. You've played some center field. Just how has that transition been, and how surprising are you that you're pretty good at it that quickly?
I mean, it's definitely a little different than being in the infield because, I mean, you're not always having to do something in the outfield, but in the infield, when the ball's hit, you have somewhere to be. But, I mean, I guess just playing shortstop and, you know, having to be really athletic for that position, I guess it just translates to the outfield. I mean, obviously getting reads off the bat, you got to have a good read at shortstop if you want to make some tough plays, and I guess it just directly translate to being in the outfield.
How would you say like you're fully comfortable out there, or do you still have to get out there and take a lot of fly balls to be like I'm ready for this going into a game day? Like when do you feel, or when did you feel like most comfortable just reading balls? Because it is different when you're that far away compared to shortstop.
I mean, I feel like now I've definitely got the hang of it now. I feel pretty comfortable out there, but it definitely took a little bit of time. I remember the first scrimmage we had in the preseason where he told me to go out there. I was like, well, this is new, but I like it. It's something different, so it's definitely something cool to try.
How much are you still taking reps? Obviously, Coach Palumbo, a great infield coach, with him, because you have played some second as well and made some good plays there, and you can play third as well, and we know you can play short. So how much you still double, you know, taking some reps in infield?
I mean, I take reps in the infield and outfield every single day. Every practice, before every single game I do. You know, during BP, I'll take a round in the outfield and a round in the infield just to kind of get a feel for both of them.
Braden Burrus is with us. He's Carolina freshman. So before we get into some of the other things that have happened this season, Braden, let's go back to your recruitment. So you grew up, obviously, Green Central, Snow Hill guy, and so you mentioned you kind of followed ECU growing up. So when the recruitment started, how quickly did it take you to become a Pirate?
I was definitely sold when I came here to my third Elite 100 camp. So, I mean, I feel like I knew I wanted to come here considering it was my third one. And, you know, I think I had one other coach call me. And then right after that coach called me, Coach Godwin offered me. I told him this is where I wanted to be, so I was like, it didn't matter, you know, what kind of scholarship he gave me. If it was a full ride or if it was absolutely nothing, this is where I wanted to be. And
you've shown, you know, with your play, and that man, like you said, this is a dream come true for you. And look, I mean, and I was telling you before we started, like every TV broadcast is like, all right, here's Braden Burrus, he's the walk-on. And like for you know, full disclosure, like there are a lot of walk-ons in college baseball. There's only 11.7 scholarships to go around 30+ guys, and so there's you know, you're not that unique, although it is, you know, impressive you're doing what you're doing as a freshman, and I'm sure you won't be a walk-on for long. But I don't know, like, does that just kind of show that you kind of ignore the other stuff and you're just a ball player at the end of the day? Like, you're just showing up to the field, want to play 100%. Doesn't matter if you're on scholarship or not.
I mean, yeah, all the scholarship is money. I mean, it has nothing to do with how good you are at baseball. I mean, if you just go out there and, you know, work every day and, you know, make the most of every opportunity you get, I mean, at the end of the day, money's money.
When did you know, like, watching you in the preseason, I was like, all right, this Braden Burrus guy looks like a guy who can play and make an impact. When did you, like, start to feel the confidence that you belonged at this level and you could make an impact year one?
I'd say it was kind of towards the end of the fall because, you know, early on in the fall I kind of struggled. You know, my strikeout rate was probably not the best. Then the last 2 weeks of my fall before I got hurt, you know, I started to kind of find myself and, you know, find kind of what my role was going to be on the team. And, you know, I started playing well, started having fun with it.
Coach Godwin says he coaches you, you know, kind of like a throwback, like he can coach you as hard as he did when he first started. So, I don't know, do you take that as a compliment? Does it ever get frustrated at all? I guess it's a good thing when coach is on you like that because he has high expectations for you.
I mean, yeah, it's always a good thing, but I knew what I was getting myself into when I committed here because he told me that he was glad I was coming here because he could coach me the same way he coached 10 years ago. And my initial thought, I was like, that's good for me. I'll kind of get a feel for both sides of it, how it was when he first started coaching and then how it is now.
So Braden Burrus, I mean, I don't want to dive too into the numbers because you guys look, I mean, y'all focus more on quality at bats over batting average, but the numbers are impressive. 424 batting average. I mean, the thing that sticks out to me, Braden, on base percentage over 500. You're the leadoff guy. Your job is to get on base by whatever means. So I mean, 21 walks. You've been hit by 6 pitches compared to 14 strikeouts. So like you're doing your job. You're stealing some bases. So is that kind of what that mentality when you're a leadoff guy, like get on no matter what way?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care how I get on. I'm just trying to find a way on. I mean, you see guys like Jack and Dixon and Colby right behind me. I mean, them guys can swing it. My job is just to get on. They're going to hit me in.
So you do have 2 home runs on the year. Was your first home run, was it the Grand Slam or was that? Okay.
That was the first one, yeah.
So emotions of that, which, look, may or may not have been a little wind-aided, but, first career home run, a Grand Slam, that's got to be pretty sweet.
Yeah, it was sweet. As soon as I hit it, I was like, yeah, that's nice. It's a sac fly. And I was like, man, he kept going back. I was like, this might have a chance. Got over the wall, and I was like, wow. Yeah, it sank in. I was like, wow, that was my first one. So, I mean, that was pretty cool.
Something you always remember for sure. Braden Burrus in studio with us. And, the other thing I like about your game, Braden, you really know how to bunt. We know Cliff, obviously a big guy who likes to bunt a lot as a coach and third base box. And whether it's bunting for a hit, laying down a sack, how much does that preparation go into your game? Like, how much are you working on that in addition to your regular BP?
Same thing. I work on it every single day. I did a lot of bunting in high school. Not so much sack bunting, but bunting for hits a lot in high school. So, I mean, I guess it just kind of carried over here. So it was good to, set that in stone at Green Central so that I could bring it over here. How much does your family, your friends at Green Central get to make it a game, with you being so close to home? It seems like just about every single home game, there's somebody, whether it's a teammate, family, like old coaches, there's always somebody there. That's awesome. Braden Burrus is with us. All right, so we were talking your second collegiate game. I think you struck out 4 times, and I think you didn't play for a while after that. But, man, adversity, like, you learn from it, and you've come back since then. You've been awesome bat-to-ball skills. So, like, was there an adjustment you made, or was it just simply slowing the game down, as your first time around as a college player? Yeah, me and Coach Godwin talked after that game, and it was almost like after my first strikeout to lead off that game, everything just kind of sped up for me. So I would guess it has been, just slowing the game down and, not letting it pass by me, just making the most of like every opportunity and every pitch that I get, just slowing it down and let myself control the game, not let the game control me. And when you're in high school, I mean, like you're the best player on the field more times than not. And most guys that go to college, that's how it is. So, like, I don't know, is there a process you have to go through mentally where it's like, all right, everybody here is good, and if I'm not locked in from pitch to pitch, I can look pretty bad? Is that kind of like, we always hear Cliff Godwin say, can't take a pitch off. Is that kind of what he means there? I mean, yeah. I mean, like you said, pretty much everybody on the team is probably the best player on their high school teams. I mean, it's just not the same. There's only one best player in college. So, I mean, you gotta go out there and, earn every single opportunity that you get. And, I mean, it's really up to you of what you do with each opportunity. You got to make the most of every single one of them. What are some of the things with your game specifically, Braden, you're still trying to hone in on, improve on? Is this, you're playing probably you guys play a lot of summer ball and everything year-round now, but as far as just your game, as you get deeper into the season, what do you really want to hone in on, keep improving on, or stay good at? I think, it's such a long season. I think, like, the mental aspect is probably the biggest thing for me. I think I tend to let, some things get to me a little quicker than what they should, and, just kind of improving that would definitely not hurt at all. Always things to work on. There's no doubt about it. Braden Burrus in the studio. Pirates 24-17 on the season, 9-6 in American Athletic Conference play. And look, you guys coming off a good week. 3-1. I know, we talked with Cliff earlier, not how you wanted to end it, but like, is it still kind of a bad taste in your mouth with how Saturday ended? Even though, like, you look at it from the grand scheme of things, 3-1, you'll take that every week. But, like, as a team, how do you kind of
compartmentalize that versus how it ended?
I mean, yeah, as a competitor, you never want to lose a game. You know, go into every 4-game week, you want to leave that week 4-0. It obviously hurts a little bit, but the best part about baseball is that you're going to get another opportunity. So, I mean, we get to turn around and play tomorrow, so that'll be fun.
How has the team kind of, and you probably won't know later till y'all get together, but getting like Sunday off for Easter, just kind of getting a little bit of a reset because it is a long season like we were talking about. How much do you think that can help you guys going down the stretch run?
You know, it's always good. You know, during the season, baseball takes up a lot of time, so you know, getting away from it for a day is always a good thing, allowing your body to reset, your mind to reset, just to be able to get back after it today for, you know, a good practice, and then get after it tomorrow against State.
You mentioned it, you know, you guys grew up following East Carolina, so you know what this program's about. And Cliff Godwin has thought about playing with pride, you know, for the name on the front. And I think there's no doubt that Braden Burrus does that. So, you know, for you as a freshman coming in, what's it kind of been like dealing with it's been a little bit of up and down season. There's no doubt about that. But just kind of handling that as a freshman and learning how to deal with, like, adversity at the college level from a wins and losses perspective as the season's gone along.
I mean, I think no matter, you know, how the season's going, I think it's just understanding, like, why you play. You got to know your why and, you know, why you do what you do. And also playing for the players who've played here in the past. I mean, there's been tons of great players. I mean, you got Zach Agnos, who, you know, just made his MLB debut, and then guys like Connor Norby and Alec Burleson. I mean, they were outstanding, and, you know, just trying to do what they do, you know, carry on the legacy, and, you know, obviously playing for the name on the front is just really the reason why a lot of us do it.
So what was it like seeing Zach? I don't know if you could watch it with the blackout rules. I know I couldn't watch it live, but I was following it. What's it like seeing a former Pirate make it to the big leagues? Pretty surreal.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get a chance to watch it, but obviously I saw it all over social media. You know, it was cool. I just remember watching them close out one of the regional games a couple years back. So I watched that in person. So that was pretty cool.
The Virginia game?
Yeah,
that was electric. There's no doubt about it. I think that's when we all realized, all right, this is Zach Agnos guy. Pretty good shortstop, might be a pretty good pitcher as well. I did see a tweet that you were a pretty good pitcher in high school. So are you trying to get on the mound at all?
You know, I've kind of bugged AK about it. He tells me my 85-mile-an-hour fastball won't work, but you know, I gotta have a little bit of fun with it.
We saw Ryder Giles like get 83 mile per hour.
Yeah.
He had a little funk to it, but I don't know. Maybe we can get you up there at some point. Braden Burrus is with it. All right, let's talk off the field, Braden. We're getting to know you as a baseball player, but what do you like to do if you do get any free time during the season, which is rare, but also in the off season? What do you like to do to kind of, you know, take your mind off baseball?
Yeah, I don't mind going to the beach every once in a while, but not a big beach guy. But hunting's definitely where it is. Pretty much most seasons except for turkey season. Too many snakes. I can't deal with them.
Right.
But I mean, I like hunting. Just being out doing something in the woods has always been good.
So you're not a big stay-at-home guy. You want to get out and
I don't like sitting there and doing nothing.
I don't blame you there. So take us through. So turkey hunting is not your thing. Mm-hmm. Duck hunting is, correct? Yeah. So what's your like ideal day? Like when you get up and how long are you out there?
Ooh, it kind of depends on where I'm hunting. I mean, if you say I'm hunting in a swamp around home, probably 5:30 I'll wake up. You know, try to be in the swamp by 6. Set out decoys. That's always fun. Hopefully it's a good hunt, so you can get out of there in about 45 minutes. So they're always quick. Then just go get some breakfast and then just spend time with friends and family the rest of the day.
That's awesome. So do you go with do you try to go like solo, or do you go with some friends, family? Is it just a family?
I go with my dad a lot, and then also some friends back home.
Okay, that's all. Any teammates that you're gonna try to take duck hunting this
I took Parker Bird this past season.
How'd he do?
That was not a good day. Yeah, that day was not good. We didn't have much action. The birds just didn't want to come to Parker, I guess.
You have hits and misses, you know. It's just sometimes it's not your day for hunting. All right, so what about the other guys on the team? You know, big freshman class, a big incoming class this past year, along with yourself. So any of those guys you really bonded with, made a tight relationship with?
Lance Williams and Braxton Trammell. I knew Braxton before, but like we weren't really close. I just played against him a couple times. Lance, we just automatically bonded because he's kind of into the same things as I am. He likes to hunt, he likes to fish, he likes to play golf. So that was a no-brainer. But Braxton, me and him, we stay right beside each other in the dorm. So
okay,
I mean, I've known him. I knew he was a good kid, and me and him are pretty tight.
You gonna try to take him hunting at some point?
I think I'd try it if he wanted to go hunting.
We'll have to get him out there, and obviously he's Cliff Godwin said he's dealing with the injury right now, MRI. I know he got that last week. What do you say to him, who's a fellow freshman, had a really good season? Gets a little bit banged up. I'm sure he's a little frustrated right now. So you try to give him any words of encouragement.
I mean, yeah, it's frustrating. I mean, because into the fall I started playing well. Obviously, it's not during the season, but then I broke my hand. It was tough mentally because you can have that woe is me mindset, but at the end of the day, you got to try to do what's best for the team. I mean, there's not much you can do on the field, but I mean, you can still provide a little bit of energy in the dugout, keep everybody up.
Braden Burrus is with us. So I noticed you still got the stash going. Is that from Mustache March? You just kept it rolling?
Yeah, so I wasn't a big competitor this year.
Yeah.
So I'm starting now so that I can get a head start for next year.
That's fair. Hey, as a fellow blonde kid, I don't have much facial hair that shows up either. So for those that can't see it on camera, it is there, I promise. So keep it going year round. It's working for you, man. There's no doubt about that. Braden Burrus is with us. So big week ahead. As you mentioned, NC State Tuesday in Raleigh, and then Tulane coming to town. I know you guys don't look ahead. It's one game at a time mentality. So the NC State game, just how excited are you to get back out there and play a team on their home field that in a rivalry game won on you guys' home field? So y'all looking forward to that challenge?
It's always going to be fun. Rivalry games are, kind of what you play for. The energy's there. It's always going to be there. Hostile environments, playing in Raleigh. They're obviously going to be on top of you, because it's a rivalry game, but it'll be a fun one.
I meant to ask, too, so you guys just got back from Birmingham, and y'all went to Rice earlier. Had you traveled much before? What's it been like playing these, long road trips?
I've obviously played in Georgia and the WWBA, but it's a little different, going out to Texas and Alabama. But it's definitely fun. You get some downtime. You just get to spend time with the team, doing whatever. The hotel this weekend had a pool table, so that was pretty cool.
So Sean Jenkins was telling me he had never flown before going to Rice. Had you taken a flight before, or is this your first time?
So I had flown when I was 7 or 8. Flew to Boston to watch the Yankees and Red Sox. Okay. So that was pretty cool.
You'd at least been on a plane, so that's good. Yankees and Red Sox, gosh. So who would have been playing at that time when you were 7, 8?
Oh, that was still Derek Jeter, Mark Teixeira.
Okay.
Because I'm a Yankees fan. I can't stand the Red Sox.
Oh man.
But they still had Jared Saltalamacchia. I remember he had a grand slam in the section right across from us, and of course the Yankees lost, but that's a different story.
Is that the only Yankees game you've seen? Or
I've been to a couple. Okay. I've been to Tampa Bay. Went to Yankee Stadium.
Okay. I'm still waiting to knock that one out of my bucket list.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Yeah. I'm a Seattle Mariners fan, so I've been out to Seattle, and I've seen Seattle play at Atlanta and several other places regionally, but I'm planning to go to Fenway this summer, so I'm excited about that.
It's a cool park.
Yeah, so I'll boo the Red Sox for you. How about that?
Please, thank you.
Braden Burrus, last thing, man. What's you guys as a team? Y'all have been playing much better. Obviously, since the losing streak, y'all bounced back with a vengeance. Obviously, the Saturday game was not how you wanted to finish it. But what's the key to keep this run going from a team perspective down the stretch here?
I mean, I just think we understand that, each game is another opportunity to get closer to winning a championship. I mean, everybody came in here with one goal in mind, and that's winning. We came here to win. We want to win a championship. So I think as long as, we still have everybody buying into that, I mean, we still have a shot.
He is Braden Burrus, freshman player for the Pirates, outfielder, infielder, leadoff guy, hitting over 400, doing a great job, and plays the game the right way with a lot of energy and passion. Braden, we appreciate the time on today's program, man. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. That's Braden Burrus. We'll have him back on the show down the stretch run this season as well, but good to get to know Braden in studio. Enjoying watching him on the field this season. All right, we'll get a break in. We'll come back. We'll wrap up the show after this. This is Hoist the Colors.
Hi, I'm D.R. Alligood.
And I'm his daughter, Jessica.
For 11 years, we have built quality driveways and parking lots for both your residential and commercial needs. We also offer free on-site quotes to have your custom driveways built the way you want.
252-946-1227.
Your roof is a vital part of protecting your home and family from dangerous storms and hurricanes. At Assist Roofing, we install and maintain metal roofing that provides precise protection. Add value to your home while lowering utility costs with a fortified roof to last a lifetime. With 0% financing, grants, and Energy Star Green Roofing tax credit available. Call us to schedule a free consultation so you can weather any storm with confidence.
Make every day electric on the Kawasaki Electro 20 electric balance bike. Maximize the fun with long run times, impressive top speed, and Kawasaki build quality. Easy adjustability and smooth handling make everyday riding more enjoyable. And the standard MTB type tires provide off-pavement capability. The Kawasaki Electro 20 is the electric balance bike that's built to rip. Go to Ron Ayers Motorsports, Memorial Drive north of the airport, Greenville.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's cut in color. And let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
If you are interested in living longer and living stronger, Eastern Physical and Lifestyle Medicine is accepting new patients for a limited time. Finding a caring physician can be a challenge. Dr. Billy Smith is board certified in physical medicine and lifestyle medicine and has been practicing in the area for many years. Call for an appointment now to Eastern Physical and Lifestyle Medicine, 252-364-1108 in Greenville. That number again is 252-364-1108.
Looking for a great deal on a new Nissan?
At Greenville Nissan, we've got a great selection of new Nissans for under $30,000.
The stylish Nissan Sentra, offering top-notch fuel economy. The Nissan Altima, known for its comfort and technology.
The Nissan Kicks, the perfect combination with its compact design and performance. The Nissan Versa, delivering incredible value without compromising on features. And don't forget the Nissan Rogue, an award winner for 10 years in a row. Drive it home just for $22 down and $349 a month.
Visit GreenvilleNissan.com today.
Greenville Nissan, where we drive to serve.
Hi, I'm D.R. Alligood.
And I'm his daughter, Jessica.
For 11 years, we have built quality driveways and parking lots for both your residential and commercial needs. We also offer free on-site quotes to have your custom driveways built the way you want.
252-946-1227. Every ECU fan's one stop for all things ECU athletics. This is Hoist the Colors with Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome back in. Final segment here, Hoist the Colors. Been a fun show, catching up with Cliff Godwin as well as Braden Burrus. East Carolina standout freshman. Got a bunch of Braden Burrus fans in the chat. Perry says this guy's awesome. Lane, this dude is a baller. Brooks Hill says well-spoken guy. T-Mac says this season definitely my favorite player on the team. Reminds me of Lane Hoover. Plays 100% every game. So shout out to the 23 Club, Interbanks Media Initiative, getting Braden Burrus on the show. Really good to talk with Braden Burrus for the first time. All right, Philip Pilkington is producing today. And let's talk about a former Pirate. We touched on it with Braden and Cliff, but Zach Agnos, man, what a moment. Goes to the big leagues and gets the call. You can check out some of the footage on social media. Gets a scoreless inning, his first career hold. An official stat per Baseball Reference, faces 4 batters. Came in a 1-run game, Philip, and got the job done. Got a pop out, a ground out, did allow a 2-out single to Josh Bell, then a warning track fly out in Coors, which is basically like a medium fly out in any other ballpark with the thin air there. But good to see Zach Agnos in the big leagues, and honestly, kind of surreal to watch it.
Yeah, it was. Credit to Zach for all the hard work he's put in. And like you said, Bud Black goes out there and has the, belief to put him in the 8th inning in a 1-run game.
I know you were thinking about another word there.
Yeah. So, look, if you can be in that situation and get out of it, yeah, it's not going to be that way every time. But hopefully this is an opportunity for him. This bullpen has been atrocious. Have I watched every Rockies game this year? No. Have I watched half the Rockies games this year? Probably. So I can speak better than most people that the bullpen's bad, the starters are bad. And look, at the end of the day, if Zach can go out there and do what he did last night, no reason not to keep him on the roster.
It's honestly pretty incredible, just the Agno story. We don't have enough time to get into all of it, but if you're a Pirate fan, you know the deal with his brother and obviously his father passing, and cool to just awesome to see his family there, man. We were kind of talking about it pre-show, but we get to know a lot of these players. Zach, he just has such an awesome personality. Like it really feels like once you talk to him, you know him so well. He opens up so much, and like we've had good relationships with Gavin Williams, Alec Burleson, Trey Savage will be there. We've had him in studio multiple times, but with Zach, I don't know. It just feels a little bit more special because of the family situation and just how well we got to know him. I even want to say, like, I even got a little emotional when he got called up, Philip, because we know everything he's been through, and it makes these moments more special.
It does. He was so much part of the Greenville community. Dang.
You're getting emotional, too.
Yeah. Like having Reed, introduce him and stuff like that. I know Wags said they had this thing when he would do the lap after every win. Instead of high-fiving, they would take their hats off and do, like, a cheers thing. And Zach was just, like, a normal dude that just so happened to be one of the better players on the team, and now he's a big leaguer. Like, he seems like definitely the kind of guy who won't, like, forget where he came from,
There's no doubt. And I still don't know how I feel about the stash. We'll talk about that another time. But it works. It works, along with those horrific City Connect uniforms for the Rockies. But we'll touch more.
Last year's were better.
Yeah, I agree. We'll touch more on City Connect, Zach Agnos, MLB, Pirates, and the Pros in the week ahead. We're out of time. We'll see you tomorrow at 12 noon. We'll preview ECU, NC State, and much more. See you then.
This has been Hoist the Colors with your host, Stephen Igo. Tune in weekdays at noon for all things ECU sports. Get a recap of the show at